Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What's going on, Chip? What's going on the chain family? I'll tell you what's going on. SEC director target of corruption probe. You heard that right.
What?
Corruption probe. Exactly. What the heck is going on? XRP wins again as the SEC tries to come out and strike and strike and strike. Man, they're always on the wrong side of things. Upset in Congress, all sorts of chaos taking place. Where does everything end? I don't know, but XRP, the last I looked, I don't know where it is right now. Was it like 53 cents? XRP was getting crazy. The crypto market's heating up. A lot of exciting things to talk about. And this is probably the most exciting place to be right now as we speak. Fired up about crypto. You guys know it. Chip knows it.
I
We
know
ready to
something.
kick this thing off? You know something. Little
Yeah, I know.
something.
I know things.
Few
I know
things.
a couple
Just a
things.
couple.
Let's go.
One or
Let's
two
kick
things.
this puppy off and
Kick
let's talk
this
about it.
off.
Yeah, it's good.
Welcome to On the Chain.
On the chain is where it's at.
On
Is where it's at.
Jane.
Do you remember that? On the chain. It's where it's at. Not exactly the right words, but we change them sometimes. Welcome, fam. Go ahead and drop where you're from. Great, great, great. Rob McDermott is in here. And let me just shout out Rob McDermott for there was the proper party. But in my opinion, the real party was the proper pre-party that Rob McDermott put together. Oh, it was just phenomenal, man. I got to say, it was just a great time. Great. It was right down the street from the event, and it was a phenomenal time. Rob, thank you for all you did that night. Everybody can't stop talking about it. Talked to Mark today, and he was like just going off about it. It's just great. Had some nice accolades I'll have to share with you as well, because I know because you got this squirrely like handle, so you didn't get tagged. People were looking for you, but they're like, I can't find Rob. I'm like, I know, it's here. Let me get it to you. So
Dude,
we figured it out.
Joe Bud was at the proper party.
That was the
You know, it's
proper party.
crazy. There were so many
We were
people at the proper party that just didn't connect.
There were so many people.
Kept
It's like
really kept it
Notorious
quiet.
put a video. I'm like, bro, you were there. You didn't come up and introduce yourself. The thing was, it was such a big space. There were so many people. That's what I loved about the pre-proper party, because it was an intimate affair. Uh, oh, thanks, brother. Thanks, bro. It was, well,
Because you were
let's not
there.
get crazy.
Not like that.
Let's not get too crazy. But I met so many
Chip
cool
was the
people.
party.
Not really. I was not the party at all, man. I was just a guy. But it was, I have to tell you how weird it was, Jeff. As I'm walking down the line and people are yelling, Chip, picture. And I was like, what? It just felt so weird. I thought I'd be a little more anonymous, and that didn't happen. So what are you going to do? But it was great. We said we weren't going to talk too much about it, but we really had to. Yeah, he's from Olympia, Washington. So there you go. That says all you need to know. He's surrounded by people who think differently than he does.
That's
Like the entire state. Like the entire state. So it's a lot.
Think about Rob Cross, the
Puerto
entire
Rico
U.S.
in the
to get
house,
there.
social, SoCal. I'm sorry, SoCal. Well, that's another whole thing together. And we got Georgia's in the house. Yeah, love it.
Man,
Yeah,
all
love
right.
it. Just Waza's in here. Gonna meet Waza.
Just Waza all the way from Australia.
We're gonna get into it, Waza and I. We're gonna have some fun when it's gonna be awesome. Of course, I got to meet his countrymen. I got to meet Ali G and Matt LaRoche. We hung out one night and got some dinner, and they were at the proper pre-party. But once that proper pre-party ended, I don't know where anybody went. Luckily, I saw John Dean, but Jeremy Hogan was at that proper pre-party. Jimmy Filan was there. Get a picture with those two guys. Man, just talking to them. Holy cow.
That's all you needed.
Meeting Thinvu was like, oh, man, she was just Rob's at the funniest thing. Rob's like, he's like, hey, Jeremy Hogan, nice to meet you. Thinvu. He goes, sorry, man, but I got a picture with your wife, or something like that. It was so funny. I don't remember his exact words, but it was yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Tommy. Tommy, that's Rob brought his best buddy of I don't know how many years, like 30 years. And Tommy was just phenomenal. so many fun people, Jeff. And this is, I mean, Ripple, whatever. It was the people that were incredible. And I love this community. I love the people.
Party for the people. Mark Phillips, what's going on?
Mark was, listen, so Mark, there he is right there. So Mark, I did not take it home. That was a misconception. By the way, I've got the video because everyone, I know Notorious put that video out, but you couldn't see it was Gary's face. So somebody, I think that was one of the predictions that Joel Katz, David Schwartz made. Somebody was, and I see I might be do it during the show, but they were parading around. I might have to turn the volume down, but they're parading around this blow up doll with Gary's face on it. Hilarious. I don't know who did that. I mean, I don't even have the, what do you call it? I'm not even going to do stuff like that. So it's incredible that you would see stuff like that, Jeff. But let's break this off. So a couple things here. Let's jump into it. You want to throw that thumbnail up there? There he is. There's the boy.
Oh, I hit stop sharing.
Yeah. Oops. No worries.
Let's
get to this first story. So Ripple obtains full license to operate in Singapore as it expands to Asia Pacific. Now, the funny thing about it is they met with regulators. Monica Long put out a tweet and she's like, look, we met with regulators 4 months ago. 4 months ago. How long in the U.S.? 1, 2, 3, 4. How long in the U.S., Jeff, have there been these Bitcoin ETFs, right? I mean, how long? And we've been told that, Bitcoin, the only one that was cleared for non-security, except for the Torres doctrine that came down like a massive hammer in July 13th.
I gotta go. Be right back. Sorry.
All right, that's fine. Where are you headed? He's got to go. Who knows? Nobody knows. Jeff just has to go. But anyway, so they said on Wednesday, obtained the full license to operate in Singapore. It's Asia Pacific headquarters since 2017, hired exceptional talent, local leadership, doubling headcount over the past year, and plan to continue growing our presence in a progressive jurisdiction like Singapore. Comes as Ripple continues to spar with U.S. Securities and Exchange. I don't know if they continue to spar. This sounds like, Ripple was sitting around one day and they're like, I guess, what can we do? I guess we'll just go to the gym and find a sparring partner. That's kind of like a poor choice of words. They don't continue to spar. The SEC continues to be a bully. The SEC continues to be, gone full stupid. Got to be careful with that one, people. But they've gone full Dumbo, and they, and there's Brad looking all like, he's talking during the Token 2049 conference, which I heard is like the new year when Ripple moons. That's like the new date. It's supposed to hit $3 by then, but no. So and something interesting to note, and I wonder exactly how damaging, you can't sue the SEC for damages. You can't go back and say, well, listen, I mean, there are certain jurisdictions and laws that if you do sue somebody and you do lose, well, you got to cover their costs. It really stops a lot of this tort, and there really needs to be more tort reform on that side of it. But over 90% of Ripple's business outside the U.S. and Singapore, and to a larger degree, Asia Pacific, one of its fastest growing regions, the company said. Let me grab some water. Ripple said it will continue to prioritize the region for adoption of its crypto payment services. Monica Long, President of Ripple, told CNBC in an interview last month that Singapore's office's headcount more than doubled. And, Ripple's been on a hiring spree. A lot of organizations. Hey, Jeff, you're back.
Back. Good news. Julius 8.
What's that?
I said good news. Julius 8.
That's a good thing. That Julius is your dog.
Yeah, he's not doing too well.
Julius eats like a king, though.
He does. He does.
Jeff's like, what are you doing, Jeff? I'm grilling food for Julius.
Man, he's eating some pesto chicken. He had some chicken broth with chicken in it. He wasn't eating today, but we had him on pain med yesterday. He was eating this week, and he didn't eat the week before.
And how old is Julius now? He's 12 or 13?
14 and a half.
Oh, wow.
14 and a half. Brought him to the vet, and one of his lungs was shaded. So it could be that he has a tumor in his lung, or he has a bad infection. But Every
Yeah, I know I
moment with
lost
every moment of Julius is,
XRP Hollywood bum because he didn't make it to Vegas, didn't make it to the proper party either. Hell, but listen, here's what we're gonna do.
man,
We're gonna have some kind of a thing next year, even if it's a small
we're
invite only. You'll be there, XRP Hollywood.
it's gonna be yeah, that's
Something in
right.
South
South
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, I'll just be out
South
like
Florida's where it's at.
just something where we can get a space. Everybody pays the door price. Just come hang out. We don't have to be nutty crazy. We don't need bands. We just need to just chill and talk with each other. That's the face to face is where it's at, man.
Yeah, it's the best, especially coming down to South Florida. We'll plan something like, December, January timeframe when, it's cold in certain places. People want to be down there.
Sean
Appreciate that,
Thompson.
Sean.
Yeah. It's tough. I lost my last dog at 15. She just turned 15, and then, it was time. It wasn't
Yeah,
eating,
it's
wasn't,
tough.
that it was stopped, so they stop eating and they
They
wouldn't
know.
eat anything, got super skinny. They know when it's time to go, and they're most amazing. And I took them around the backyard for the last time. I said, lift your head across, as we go across that threshold, hold your head high. We're going out in style.
Huh,
And I'm like, we're riding, and
yeah.
I put a pair of sunglasses on, put a pair of sunglasses on him, on her, and her name was Asia. AJA for best Steely Dan song ever, and album. Just sounded like a cool name at the time. And that's it. We went down there and I drove back alone and bawled my eyes out. Horrible.
That's tough.
Yeah,
My
it's rough.
the
It's
hardest
rough.
time I had with a dog was with my dog Jake when we had to have him put down. That
Jake
was the
from State
toughest
Farm?
one.
No.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
We
Yeah.
had we had 2 dogs at the time, and my other dog just took it, he just put the dog down. That's all he'd never known since he was a puppy, and he was okay with it. He just kinda went on, and I realized dogs live in the moment. So every dog after that, I realized it's gotta appreciate it, and they go on with their life, and that's it. Like
Yeah,
everything else, but
the happiest day you get is like when you get your dog. But in the back of your mind, after you've had a couple dogs, you just know there's that time where it's gonna be tough. And I came back so Monday I was laid out all day, incapacitated, worst headache of my life. I was drinking, I was trying to stay, but I was just incapacitated. This dog never left my side. Even though I went to the bathroom, he followed me to the bathroom. It was like, and I was
yeah.
like, kind of what pissed him. And I'm like, Asia was a healing dog. Like that dog, I would just rest with her and I'd feel amazing. I'm like, you're not a healing dog, but you're good. You're a great pal. So we joke around like that. He doesn't understand my jokes. Well, we have fun. I amuse myself.
Yeah,
That's the most important part.
uh,
So
man.
what are you gonna do? But
But
this
remember,
whole
T-Bone walked off into the lake.
yeah, T-Bone knew.
He knew. That's how
He
he
just
did
went
it.
off and he said, I'm not gonna have you guys deal with it. Just have to find me in the lake. Horrible.
And I did. 5 hours later.
Ouch.
Uh,
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
yeah,
Anybody that's
but
ever
that was
lost
his that
dogs
was
and
his
cats.
moment, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but Julius is hanging in there. Julius has 9 lives, so he's overcome a lot of things. He was paralyzed a year ago.
Yeah, that's
Remember, he
crazy.
wasn't
Yeah, I
walking, and we
remember
were
that.
able to bring him back to where he's doing mile walks. That was, yeah, he's doing well.
So a little bit more of this story, Jeff. We're going to just show a little bit more of this, but it says since establishing Singapore as our Asia Pacific headquarters in 2017, the country's been pivotal to Ripple's global business. We've hired exceptional talent, local leadership, plan to keep growing the presence. Under Maz's leadership, Singapore has developed into one of the leading fintech and digital asset hubs, striking the balance between innovation, consumer protection, and responsible growth. The comment stands in contrast to the Ripple situation in the US, where it and Coinbase are embroiled in lawsuits with the Securities and Exchange Commission. SEC charged Ripple and its founders in 2020, alleging they illegally sold a native cryptocurrency XRP without first registering with the SEC. But in July, a
Mhm.
landmark ruling determined SEC the token was not in itself necessarily a security. This is a dumb word because it doesn't belong. It's not
Uh,
necessarily a security. It in itself is not a security.
right.
Just people at CNBC can't figure it out.
What
I'm in I'm
a
in another
landmark ruling determined the token was not in itself necessarily a security.
no, in
Who
itself
writes
was
like
not,
that?
dude,
Holy
dumb
crap!
people.
That's a
These are
lot of
people.
words.
This is CNBC. First of all, the token was in itself not a security. Was found not a security,
Necessarily a
and
security.
it's never been the
Token was
security.
not
It's
in
always
itself
been the
necessarily a
scheme.
security.
Nobody can
Wasn't
get it right.
necessarily a security. How
Jeff, how
about
do
it
we
just
become
was not
legal
a security?
experts? We don't know
What
anything
does
about how do we
necessarily mean?
necessarily is like
Was not
it's a wish.
necessarily a security.
Yeah, it could
Wasn't
mean well, maybe
necessarily a
it
security.
could
Yeah,
been, but maybe
maybe it wasn't. Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
this is what you see when you
CNBC, we're
use
not
these
sticking to anything.
wonky, weak words that it could have been. Not necessarily. I
Not
mean,
necessarily.
what happens is people get
Maybe it could have
confused
been.
because Ripple had direct sales that did have did have investment contract with companies. Okay, and they can't distinguish between that and XRP being sold, which is what Torres did. What I thought was brilliant, where she talked about the fact that it was a blind bid. So you bought it off an exchange. You don't know who you're buying it for. You could have been buying it from someone that just sold it. You could have been buying it from somebody else directly. You don't know you're buying it from Ripple. And half the people, and those 75,000 people that participated in John Deaton, that's why I say John Deaton, the hero emerged, and it was right that Brad Garlinghouse gave him a shout out and called him, and said, then somebody came out of nowhere and filed that. Because I got news for you. If it wasn't for John Deaton, I don't believe you get that win like that, because you get 75,000 people that said, hey, you destroyed my value, and how about the people that had their stuff locked up in 401ks, couldn't get it out? People that had it on Coinbase were screwed. I mean, the damage that was done. This I'd like to see Congress come together on and say, look, if you falsely accuse a company and you lose, then the government assumes all of that and there's retribution, because they were sworn to protect the consumer, Jeff, and they didn't protect the investors. It's always
They
the
still come
incumbents
out
they
and
want to
pretend.
protect.
Well, they're still claiming that they were doing everything to protect the investor. I mean, it's kind of mind-numbing. What they'll just a year from now, Gary will still be talking about the fact that that he did everything he did to protect the investors. He doesn't
Right.
care. It's but if like you're saying, the stark contrast here is that Ripple is moving on with their life in other parts of the world, as they have been like this whole time, past 3 years. The SEC is doing everything in their power to slow down the progress of cryptocurrency, to impede it through lawsuits. And then on a global, again, in contrast, we look at other countries and they're doing everything they can to embrace the new direction, this new financial asset class, and they're trying to embrace cryptocurrency and streamline it into the common economics and common finance. And so what we're seeing over in Japan, over in Singapore, all over the world, like there's news like every single week of development of something happening. And here the
Exactly.
news is Gary Gensler still thinks that the 4 prongs of the Howey test only need to have 2 prongs, and you don't really have to have a real contract to have a contract. This is the nonsense that's happening over here. Plus all the wokeism. But when you have a weekend at Bernie's situation in the White House, what else do you get? You get all sorts of crazy stuff happening.
That is
Right?
that's some funny stuff right there, man. I have to say.
And yes, Mark, there is a steak dinner in the works. I don't know when this is going to happen. We got to make this chip. We got to plan this thing. We got to get
Well,
our
the thing
steak
about
dinner
this is, here's the thing, okay?
solidified.
It was funny because I talked to DAI about this. He's like, I'm going to have to get on Mr. B about this. I said, they lost the steak dinner. Now, why do we have to drive to Orlando? You guys lost. You get your asses down here and buy us a steak dinner. Am I wrong
Yeah.
on that? It's
Yeah,
like, wait,
well, they really should be driving south to come down, and we'll find a nice
correct.
steak place down
Of
by us,
course.
or we all go to Tampa. I know it's further for us than it is for
Listen,
them, but we go to Tampa and we go to Burns Steakhouse.
Mr. B and also Alex
Yeah,
pointing 203. It's
they
not
should
like
drive
they
down. They should come down south.
Jeff, it's not like they didn't say, hey, we're going to pay up, because they did. But the
Yeah.
thing
No,
about
it's
it
just a
is,
matter of planning it, the strategy behind this now.
Yeah, the strategy behind it. But Jeff, you know what's weird? I was just looking at this. This is weird. I was just looking on the website here, and it's like I noticed this little bit here. It's like, we just said not necessarily a security, and then like right under it, it says get more bad information and misquotes at CNBC. I don't know. It seems like they're kind of famous for that. Breaking news and updates on Telegram. I mean, I don't know.
There we go.
Look at that right there. It says get more bad information and misquotes at CNBC.
Joe
Apparently,
Bud
there's
said that Burns was
apparently
all
it's something
hype.
they're proud
Come on.
about.
It probably is all hype.
Or maybe I hacked it and changed
Let's
it.
just.
That could be too. But I always
You
like to
might
do
have.
that.
You might have.
I might have done that. That's fun. It's always fun to go
See, there
hack
we
the
go. See,
AOL.
Sean also says they should
Correct,
drive
Sean.
down.
See? We're gonna sign a petition. Compromise. Denny's in Jacksonville. Okay, Mark. Mark, are you in Jacksonville? He's like, I can be there. Well, other people were trying to invite themselves, and we're like, well, because I said, well, maybe Jeremy Hogan should come to the steak dinner if it is in Atlanta. But when are you and I going to get time, dude? My weekends are booked pretty much solid. I could find 2 hours on a
It's
Saturday
tough.
night, but everything's booked, dude. It's like, our
Yeah,
family
it's crazy.
time is on weekends. It's the only time we really have. It's a 3-hour drive up there. It's a 3-hour drive back. So, I mean, they could drive here on a Saturday morning. We could even do a lunch, do a steak lunch. Can that
Steak
call
dinner
it
because we
dinner?
have to have wine.
Well, whatever. I mean, we
Well, I
can do
guess you can
that.
have wine for lunch too. So
We could do that. I mean, that would all be good, Jeff. I mean,
that would be good.
it's all fantastic. I mean, I think would all work. And to your point, so
Steak dinner at the Wave of Innovation at the Gold Coast.
well, there you go. That's it, the Gold Coast. And that was something I've been tweeting out a lot about as the Gold Coast event because Brad got on stage and he's like, you got the XRP event coming up, right, Brad Kimes? And I'm like, in Vegas, I'm like, whoa. Slow that roll down, bro. The big event, the worldwide big event that's happening is the Wave of Innovation. That's the XRP meetup. And, first of all, that conference is going to be great. You know what's different about this conference than most conferences? This one's a nonprofit. In other words, it's not for profit. They're doing it so that they can. And when you run something, you put the kind of time and energy that the organizers have put into this for a nonprofit. That means you are not having the conference to benefit to make money. You're doing your pricing, and it's going to be priced right. It's going to be a heck of a lot. Of course, it's in Australia for a lot of people to travel, but why not? You want to always go to Australia? Go to Australia, man. Have a good time.
Have some fun. Enjoy.
Some fun. God, you get to hang out with Waza. That's going to be worth the price of admission right there. LG, Matt LaRoche. I mean, all the rest of the gang over there, man. There's some amazing people. Come on now. So I want to put this up here, Jeff. Look at this here. This Stuart Alderati put this up. So Jimmy Filan, which we had the chance to meet, and his lovely wife, God, just amazing people. XRP community, Judge Torres denied the SEC's motion for an interlocutory appeal. And then Stu Alderati said, the court's July 13 ruling was and remains the law of the land. XRP is not a security.
The SEC is trying to overrule. It's crazy. You want to appeal. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Deaton called all parts of it, but we said that it's, first of all, it really wasn't up for it.
We called it.
But she hammered her, like on 6 or 7 counts. It was destroyed. And this one I love. This one's from Brad Garlinghouse. He's like, the SEC's request to file an interlocutory appeal is denied. I'm not a lawyer, but it seems like the court just told the SEC, you asked me to apply the Howey test. I did, and like it or not, you lost. That's it.
But then Gary will still get up there, and he doesn't care what the court says.
Well, he even said in that one interview, remember that, Jeff? He said, she says, what about the courts?
Not gonna buy it.
The courts don't. So this is what you're going to get with the blue team, right? The blue team doesn't. It's like, listen, superiority complex. Our rules are and our ideas are the only ones. But by the way, they never compete in the arena of ideas. They compete in the arena. So you know what they love? They love centralization. You know what they dislike? Decentralization, right? All the power is off them. They don't want that. And that's their biggest threat. Their biggest threat is decentralization, Jeff.
Massively. Definitely. Massive. They are terrified of decentralization because decentralization puts the power back into the hands of the people. Whether you look at it from a political perspective or an economic perspective, If we can empower people on a global scale, and you're giving everybody the power to provide for and make decisions for themselves and their family without overreach and continuous intervention of government entity, then everybody's life is significantly better. The whole point of being able to monitor and audit the government is also critical. And right now, it's kind of like a vacuum, and it's a void. You put stuff into this void, gets siphoned, vacuumed to who knows where, to the places where they want to put the money, regardless of what you say, and then they're not accountable. So there's zero accountability back to the people. Now, how do we live that way? How do we say, well, to these unaccountable people like Gary Gensler, who is unaccountable to the people, he's unelected, he's an unelected bureaucrat, he has an opinion, and then your financial position, current and future, is impacted by this unelected bureaucrat that you have no oversight over, and yet it's your government. It's right. So if it's your government, you should have a say in the outcome of your government. But yet you have representatives that are sent to Washington every 2 years, every 6 years, voted in into Congress, and yet they're not subservient to the people. They're subservient to whoever pays their bills, whoever is going to provide fundraising for their next election cycle. That's where they have their allegiance. Yet they claim to have an allegiance to the people. If they had an allegiance to the people, they would fast track decentralization. They would understand that if we put elections onto the blockchain and find a way to provide for free and fair elections, that's what they're terrified of, because they'll continuously manipulate. And that's not just here. I'm talking, that's on a global scale.
Of course
You
it
know, the
is, Jeff.
best and the proudest moment in Iraq, if you think about it, was when you saw people coming out to vote because they had put their finger or their thumb into the ink to show that they voted. Now that makes sense to me. I think in the United States, we should implement that, have a paper ballot, and have everybody dip their finger into ink that will last for a
Well,
month.
Jeff, it's also voting day. It's not voting week. It's not voting month. And when
Correct.
the incumbent is leading every state on election night at 10:30, and they close it down, and then they import ballots, and then in Detroit they put up cardboard so you can't see what's happening, and the watchers inside can't get closer than 12 feet. Okay, I'm sorry. If it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's a duck, okay? And look, you can. There's a saying that my wife always says in Spanish, and it's something to the effect of, "You can't cover the sun with your thumb." You can if it's this far away from your face, but then eventually it gets moved, and then the truth comes out. So that's kind of what happens, and we'll get there. But
I like that.
why do
That's
you
a good
think
one.
there are so many people flooding over the border? Do you think they're coming to vote for the red team? Or do you think that they're going to be issued licenses? They get $2,200 a month. They get put up in posh hotels in
Oh,
New York. First of all,
they
New
do.
York is a mess, Jeff. I mean, if you go down by where they're,
New York.
yeah, I mean, they're getting put up in
New York.
hotels. They're spending couple $2 billion there. And you know what their solution is? Ratify the amendment. Even Bill Clinton came out and said, ratify the amendment that allows that to happen. Okay, I got a simpler one. Actually, the governor came out and said, you know what? We need to fix something on the border. And the border czar, which is the VP, never went to the border. She went to a
Ever.
outlying town that wasn't the border. So you got a border czar. And by the way, just so you all feel good, she's also the AI czar. Yeah, that's right. The think tank is the AI czar. So there you go. There's a
Huh.
lot going
Is
on
she
right.
really?
She really is. Because,
She's
you
probably
know,
going to be the crypto czar.
sh- she might be. Who knows? I mean, it's a useless
Well,
title. I
they
mean,
have
who
they
knows
have
really? But
Elizabeth Warren. I don't know. They
so
like
CB Insights,
Pocahontas.
which you probably, if you, a lot of people know this site, but they named it Fintech 100, and you see for cross-border payments here, it's as large as I can get it. And again, you got to buy the report, so it's like the little image they put on their site because they want you to buy the report. But cross-border payments, you have I can't even read what that is.
What are we looking at? What are you reading?
I don't know this one right here. I don't know this. Whatever the symbol is
Neum.
here.
I can't see. That's a triangle.
Yeah, the triangle,
There's a
whatever that
slash
is. But
through it.
then there's Neum right here, which is a Ripple partner. You got
Yep.
Ripple, you got TazaPay, TerraPay. I know Thunes used to be. I don't know if TerraPay
Tunes.
is. So
Huh.
I tracked this down. I NEOM, forging new
Look at
partnership in
that.
Southeast
Well,
Asia. This is on the Ripple
very cool.
website because customer. So that's cool. It's like, so Ripple's kind of
Very
like
cool.
there a couple times. Ripple partner TerraPay inks a deal with Visa to further remittance. But again, this is the 27th of 2023. So there you go. So when you see something like
New.
they're inking
Current.
a deal partnership with Visa, teamed up with Ripple to advance. It's so funny they say Visa teamed up with Ripple, and here they're talking about TerraPay to advance cross-border payments. Partnership make it easier for consumers and businesses to move money around the world. Okay, so good. And now it says it joins forces with TerraPay and Ripple to increase remittance options. Fantastic, right?
I like it.
That's so weird we missed that story, but and then let's see. Ripple partner gets acquired for undisclosed sum. Will TerraPay bring
Who is that?
XRP? This is
Oh,
TerraPay.
TerraPay. Huh.
What I thought with TerraPay. So the other ones I couldn't find. I know Thunes. I thought Thunes was, but I can't find any evidence that they're a Ripple partner. So I don't know if it could be that a couple other ones are too. I don't know. It's hard to know. But anyway, it's like, who else would you expect to see here? But Ripple. I would just expect to see a giant Ripple logo and people that have partnerships with Ripple underneath it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you can see
Here's
it's broken down.
here's
So
sorry. Mark just put up the
there you go.
thing.
There it
No
is. No quieres tapar
quieres
con el
tapar el
dedo.
sol con un dedo.
Un dedo.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how you say that. That's it. That's a
Right.
good, it's a fantastic saying. I always love it when she. And then look at cryptocurrency, which is kind of a weird, wonky category because you got BitGo in there, you got Ledger. It's kind of like a catch-all, Ledger, and you got BitGo, which is kind of an exchange.
What
TRM and
what is
consensus.
this whole oversight?
This is the
What are
CB Insights FinTech 100 for 2023.
oh, just overall. Interesting. The
Yeah.
payroll and benefits, we got capital markets, financial service automation, man, wealth asset management. Is FTX in there? No.
No, it's just 2023. They're defunct, Jeff. They're done. Yeah. Fraud prevention and compliance. So that's your
FTX
KYC, AML. You got Alloy at the top there. You got Vera, fourth line, SIGZ,
21. Nice.
financial
Hey,
services
there's
automation.
so much going on in this space. Think about, how much
There's a
of
lot
this
of it's
is
just a
crossing over into blockchain and crypto. I mean, not all of it, but a lot of it is moving in that direction. Everybody knows where things are going.
how come our digital bank's not in there, Jeff? There's a lot of digital banks that I think should be in there. Call them
Never
neo.
heard of any of those.
Yeah, I've not heard of any of them either. C6 I know,
That
but that's C6 is the only one that I know. I don't know any of these other ones.
that one
Alicia,
Nomad
Funk.
10.
Yeah,
Never heard of
10 I've
any of
heard
them.
too, but C6 is the only one I know of, and there's so many other ones that.
Real estate and
Oh,
mortgages.
there we go. Oh, it's Apex. Huh, how come I couldn't do that before, Jeff?
I don't know, but thank God you could zoom in now.
Apex Ripple partner. I love when they add the extra letter.
Yeah, because there's
Um,
another Apex. They didn't want to be
Apex Ripple partner. What is
used.
Ripple Leverage Network? Partner network at Apex Global. That's weird. I can't find anything on them. I thought they might have been to Global Solutions Provider Partnerships, Apex Global. Let's see if I can find anything on these guys. But
Vein. Vein long. Vein.
I don't know
Vein
about Thune
Lang.
either. I
Says
know it's
we are
one
in the right space.
year ago they might have been.
I do have concerns over how long this lawsuit might drag out, though. As easy as it may be to settle, Dirty Gary will delay. That's over what's going on with Ripple. So there's still stuff going on. I'm still glad, Chip, that we're always falling on the right side of things. We've had a real good perspective on how things kind of unfold overall.
Yeah, exactly.
That's been good. DNI just popped in. DNI across the
And I
world.
wasn't at the proper party either.
DNI was not at the proper party.
No, he wasn't there.
No. New Haven, Connecticut.
Was not there. No, he was not there.
All right.
And that's all we have for that one. But I thought that was
That's,
interesting.
it is interesting. I like seeing the development. I like seeing all the different companies that are popping into space. So many of them that we don't recognize, but man, it just shows that the development doesn't stop, even when you have someone like Gary Gensler at the helm of the SEC. But you know what? With the SEC, there's corruption.
Well, here we go, Jeff. Let's lead with that corruption. Here we go, right there. Crypto Law posted this. That's John Deaton's site that he founded. Breaking SEC enforcement director now a target of corruption probe.
Huh.
Well, the man who's telling you what you're supposed to do. He
Everything
was
you're
so
supposed
stuck
to
on
do.
that hearing. I like to wanted to go over and smack him right in the face. I don't know how they have. I would like just wipe that grin off your face. Couldn't answer a question. Doesn't know anything that's going on. Didn't even trim his beard. Just not good, Jeff. Senate GOP, of course. Senate Red Team seeks subpoena power to probe ties between Melendez and Gruol. Ex-New Jersey Attorney General, which is who I think it's some. I don't know if it's Paul Gruol. It's Gruol's indictment after prosecutors allege Menendez sought special treatment for a friend. All 15 Republicans want the Judicial Committee to be granted subpoena power to investigate allegations that U.S. Senator Bob Melendez sought to interfere with the state's prosecution of Jose Uribe by contacting former Attorney General Gerber. That's his name, Gerber Gruol. Paul Gruol is general counsel over at Coinbase. I get those two confused. They both have the same Gerber Gruol. Gerber sounds like, when you had like a pet hamster back in the day, you're like, come here, Gerber. You would call them like, or what were those big things? The guinea pigs. Those were like weird, those guinea pigs. Did
That
you
was
know
a
any
guinea
friends that had that as a pet when you were a kid?
Guinea pigs are strange.
I mean, I had
Very,
a
very
hamster,
strange.
and we didn't know you were supposed to have wood in there, and it like drew its teeth out really long, and when it nipped you,
Oh,
man, it could be a good bite. Well, somehow it escaped in the house in the middle of winter. We never found it again. Even when we left, we moved out of that house like a year later. We never found that hamster. We don't know what ended up
oh, that
happening to it.
happened. Actually, when I was a kid, I had a hamster also, and he escaped, and he used to get into the wall. And we had to take out the light fixture, the electric, and
Heard
he'd come out of the
scratching
wall.
yeah.
And then same thing. One time he ran away and disappeared, and never saw him again.
Well, I remember my brother and I, which is he's about 2.5 years younger than me. He and I were saying, hey, we have to get bunnies. We just have to have bunnies. So I was like, again, we got bunnies in the middle of winter. They're stinky little things, you know what I mean? And somehow, I think it was my brother's bunny that got out. And I was in the backyard. It was like tons of snow. This is outside of Buffalo, New York. And I like look over and I'm like, mine was named Thumper because I couldn't come up with the original name. And that was like, Thumper was a white, and his was a black bunny. You know what he named his? Blackie. So Blackie escaped, apparently, must have got out. And Blackie was just in the snow like this. Like I picked him up and he was just hard as a rock.
Oh
I
no!
threw him in the trash can. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I cried.
into that.
I was wishing it was Thumper.
Story time with Chip.
All right, I'm gonna get off on these tangents. What you get here, man?
Once upon a
Everything you get.
time, there once was a
I talked about this. Like we'll be on talking about something, and then next thing you know, boom! It just
Baines
It's funny
hamster
we
walked
talk.
off the balcony.
You take the good, the bad, and the ugly. I was talking to Rob and I were laughing about that. We're like, yeah, well, there's all stories and
Gerber's a great
Gerber. That's right.
multi-tool
Gerber is a multi-tool.
to make good knives.
An indictment unsealed by federal prosecutors on September 22nd suggested that Menendez tried to make the charges against Uribe, and now the senator's co-defendant in a bribery scheme go away. Jeff, I'm I'm losing my voice here. You're gonna have to take over on the reading duties
Where are we reading?
from the
Where'd you
Justice
leave off?
Department. The Justice Department here.
Oh, down at the bottom there. Look at that. It's like
Yeah.
we're reading for. So the Justice Department said in the indictment that an official later confirmed to be Gruel told Menendez that the request was inappropriate and did not agree to intervene. But Uribe's final plea agreement was more favorable resolution than the state had initially offered. Interesting. And Gruel, federal prosecutors claim, didn't share with the team prosecuting Uribe that Mendez had approached him. So now he's covering that up. That's bad news if he is covering it up. Gruel, now the director of enforcement for the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, allegedly met with Mendez at the senator's Newark office at least once. In a letter sent to President Nicholas Scutari this morning, the Senate Republican wants to hire a special counsel and launch an independent probe, an idea initially proposed by State Senator Michael Testa. This is really interesting. So if he covered up the fact that he had met with the Menendez, if they were specifically asking him about, had you ever met with him? And he said no. And then he's trying to cover up this meeting, whether he said it was inappropriate or not inappropriate. Why would he be hiding it? Why hide the
Exactly.
meeting to begin with? I mean, come out and
Well,
say, "Hey, we did meet. He came to my office." I said, "Get the hell out of here.
tells you everything you need to
Not going to
know,
help
doesn't
you."
it?
But now he's hiding it, if that's the
Cover-up's
case.
always worse than the crime sometimes, Jeff.
Cover-ups can be pretty bad. Yep.
By the way, Rob says that you guys BS and telling stories part of what makes the show fun. We're all just shooting the shit. Damn right we are. I like how
That's right.
you put asterisks in there for the I because we never would have guessed what that was, Rob.
No, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, "What is that?"
DNI, I hope you and the family are well. There's Sean
And
wishing some good wishes. That's good to see.
DNI was funny that Michael Atu here says DNI would have been the elephants in the room at the party, at the proper party. Get it?
Right. Yeah, of
They was
course.
playing on that, the elephants in the room.
Yeah, and somebody said there was I remember them saying there was gonna be a crane with you could win some socks, and then I know I'd also seen Bias Goose there who works for Ripple X, and I was like, dude, Bias Goose. And I know his real name, but I don't want to dox him. And he's like, dude, wow, I didn't know you're gonna be here. We're like hanging out for a little bit. And then someone had asked him on Twitter, like, hey, did you ever see the thing? And I was like, I barely found the shirts downstairs. Who knew they were downstairs? But I had asked somebody like, hey, where'd you get the shirts? And I had a cool hat for us, Jeff. No clue what
Lost it.
happened to those cool hats. I think I left them in the
Somebody
diner.
has it.
Somebody has it.
Somebody has
Yeah.
the cool ad. That's what
It
matters.
just says like proper party, but the best one was XRP's not a security. That's the
That's the
best part. I don't
best.
even know if you have the shirt. I had the shirt here. I don't know what I did with it. Who knows? Who knows? Laying around. Maybe it's on the bookshelf back there. Who knows?
You see,
But
XRP
this
has been going parabolic today at 53 cents.
parabolic for XRP. That's a statement. 48 cents.
For
53.
XRP,
It's all
that's like
parabolic.
crazy speak. It's crazy when the
Anyway, this goes on
XRP
and
gets
on.
up like that.
It goes on to say the indictment of Senator Mendez has dramatically shaken the faith in New Jersey residents. Well, that's a lie because first of all, I did this thing 10 years ago that was even worse, and you got like a dusting. No problem. If you are a U.S. senator and you're from New Jersey, the Garden State, no worries. If you're some poor chump that showed up at a rally on January 6th and you were just going, "Huh, this is interesting," boom, end the slammer. No court. No date, no trial, nothing.
Mark said the open bar happened to the swag. Just saying. That's where the open swag went.
Well, the swag was there. It's just you had to go downstairs to grab it. And then somebody said, and then Bias Goose said, no, I found another place for the socks. And I was, on Brad Garlinghouse's feet. We just pilfer them, you know.
What
So
is this
federal
here at the end? Holy
claimed
what?
that Menendez contacted Gruel in January 2019 to influence the prosecution of Jose Uribe, a businessman allegedly purchasing a $60,000 Mercedes convertible for the senator's wife.
That's right.
Sounds like there's some hanky-panky going on there, Jeff. He wanted to.
Unfortunately, now the thing is that Gruel in this whole thing could be perfectly, innocent, just kind of caught up in the scheme because he got a little too close to this Menendez character
But why
that
deny
was
it?
taking all sorts of money. He had money in the freezer. He had all
Big
sorts
gold
of stuff,
cars.
gold bars, like all the stuff. He had Hunter Biden's paintings hanging in his living room. Maybe,
He did not
maybe
have
not
one. I don't think he did, but it's a great story, though. I love it. But it's like, it's like, hey, what's not trackable? How about some gold bars, right?
Gold bought at Costco. Would you
I
buy
mean,
gold at Costco?
maybe. Depends what the spot price is. I mean,
I don't know.
What's he selling it for?
But they can't keep it on
They're
the shelves.
selling
I don't know.
gold are they keeping gold at Costco now?
They say, yeah, and it's sold out. They can't bring it in fast enough. People are buying it right off the shelf. Talk
Yeah,
about an
and
impulse buy. You're walking through Costco and you're like, I'm gonna get this big ass thing of toilet paper, this big ass thing of paper towel. Damn, I gotta pick up some of these gold bars. Let me get some of those too. Throw those in the cart.
well, I don't know if they're
Yeah,
gold bars.
buy Vitamix.
Well, think about the gold bars, Jeff. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you think about, an ounce of gold is what, 22, roughly around 19 something. It's incredible. But
You were dropping some it's Kirkland's gold. Now it's not, it's a Kirkland branded gold. So it might not be your normal, branded gold that you're normally buying. This is like the Kirkland version, which is just as good because it's made by the same people who make the regular gold, except you can get it less expensive. Maybe not in this case, though. I don't know. I don't know if it's better or not.
But look at this. Bitcoin is up to 27. It's just a
I saw
25. It's
that.
up
And when
7%.
Bitcoin hits 30,000, XRP is going to start going up.
Well, this is it.
That's my prediction, even though it's already going up right now. What's going on? What's going on with XRP? Look at that move, parabolic move, 53 cents. That's what I was talking about. Now, here's where it gets crazy. See that? Sean, private label gold. There we go. Mr. Q, XRP is the only crypto that's not a security by law, and it's the only one breaks all the chart calculate. It's crazy, right? It's not 100% making sense, but we haven't even seen the beginning stages yet of where all of this is getting ready to go. Let's see. Michael said, "Did Brad really get the tattoo? Because the last time this happened, the coin tanked. The last time they had a party, or the last time they won the Fed the case." But yeah, it's amazing with XRP over all the years, 2017, as far as I've been following it and involved with XRP since 17 to now. It seems like all the good news in the space always pushed XRP in the other direction. But I think where people they were too hyper focused on news with Ripple, and news with Ripple was disconnected and disjointed from where XRP is going. XRP, I believe, except for the intervention with the SEC, which definitely had a massive impact, detrimental impact on the price point of XRP and the growth of XRP. I think what we have, what we've seen and what we're going to see with this, forget about all the technicals and charts and all of that. When Bitcoin goes up, the market goes up. When the market goes up, XRP is part of the market. This time it's going to go up. We're going to see that, and that is kind of how everything seems to work. I don't
It's
know.
all tied to Bitcoin.
Simplification of technical analysis. When Bitcoin goes up, XRP goes up. There you go. The XRP is going up right now. Maybe it's undervalued at this point as it relates to the rest of the market.
Well, it's good to know that USDC is still at $1, Jeff.
I always like Tether and USDC at a stable dollar. I don't know what Lido
Sometimes
is.
it's like 98, 99 cents. I'm like, how could
Yeah,
it's a stable
I
coin?
never
How could it,
understood that. I don't get it. Yeah.
right?
Oh, Van said the last time someone showed off they got a tattoo, he meant it tanked. There you go. You can't get an XRP tattoo because then the whole market turns. People are like, yeah, it's not serious.
Well, wasn't
And
that Joe
sell.
Lubin that got
Selling.
the Joe Lubin got the what was that tattoo he got? He got that goofy. No, Luna. He got a Luna
XRP
tattoo.
is not a security.
No, he had that giant.
Oh.
Or maybe it wasn't. Was it Joe Lubin or was somebody that got the tattoo? But that was something different, though. I don't think anybody from XRP got. I mean, from Ripple got a tattoo.
See, crypto bag boy. Even Bitcoin was 50 cents for a little while. That's right. It hung in there strong at 50 cents.
Right. Polygon. I mean, Matic's been up as like 250 or something like that. I think was the all-time high.
Yeah.
I know Polkadot was up to $40.
Now there you go. Buy the dip. Polygon's at 56 cents.
No, the
And
Sheeb.
Litecoin at $64, man. I still hold some
We remove a
Litecoin.
couple of these zeros and we got something, Jeff.
Man, if we can remove like 5 of those zeros, be living large. Are there?
But
Are there?
don't you think it's weird though that Shiba Inu is ahead of Chainlink? I mean, Shiba
Uh,
Inu is like it's just
what do you mean ahead of it? Well, by
well, it
market
is
cap because
market
there's
cap.
a
It is by market cap,
quadrillion trillion or whatever.
right? Because there's I mean, how much Shiba Inu do it? Like I think they're minting more
Well, you
daily.
can look. It's right there. No, they're not minting anymore. They're burning. They're trying to get rid of it. They pre-minted. They pre-minted 100 trillion
100 trillion. Okay,
or
that's
something like that. I forget what the number was. And I think they gave 50 trillion to Vitalik, and he burned it, and they were left with like 50 trillion, and they've been trying to burn it ever since.
so we know how
So
much is left then.
I don't know. It should be right there. What's the market cap? Does
Total
it show?
supply. There you go, right there.
What does it say?
Hundreds,
Zoom in.
millions, billions, trillions. 999 trillion, 982 million, 942,000.
There you
Oh, wait
go.
a minute.
See?
I forgot something in there, but that's hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. So 999 trillion, but I don't think
Quadrillions.
is that still the total supply? The circulating supply, Jeff, look at that number right there. 589 trillion.
Oh yeah. So that was 589 trillion. So it was oh wait, 589 trillion. So there was what is
Am I
that? What
doing
is
this
more
right?
than a trillion? Is that
Hundreds,
possible?
thousands,
Oh, those are millions, those are billions, those are trillions.
billions,
Yeah.
trillions. Yeah.
Yeah. 589 trillion of
Wonder, I
them.
mean,
They're still trying to burn it. And when they burn, they're like, oh, we just burned 100 million. I'm like,
but how can you
so
burn? How
what is
can you burn?
100 million?
People already own
When you start
589 trillion.
when you start burning 100 trillion, then I'll be impressed.
There you go,
I
right
don't know
there.
how they do it.
There's the burn right there.
There
These
you
are all
go.
the
The
burns.
burn. The burn. Look at those. Look at that burn. That was Vitalik when he did that. How
They're
much did he
still
burn? Look at that. The first burn, 410 trillion. Quadrillion.
Vitalik Buterin, burned wallet.
Maybe it's
There you
more
go.
than a trillion. He, he had he had half the supply. What the?
Well, that's why we
And
got
he burned
580.
it.
So and there's another burn right there. Voluntary into Satama contract. There's another 241 million.
Crazy.
I should say 200. So yeah, that's what we got going on there. But anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have. Just kidding, we got a little more time.
Man. Doge. Chip, the Doge coin.
What about the Doge?
The Doge. Man, that one's infinite. So that's what Jared is bringing up here. Oh, there goes Chip. Chip got booted. That's crazy. I don't know what happened to Chip. Unfortunately, don't have access to his screen. I'm limited to one monitor. He got kicked out. We kicked him out. So that's how it goes. So Dogecoin doesn't make doesn't make sense about Dogecoin. It was in that decimal point range. I was sitting on Doge when it was in the decimal point range and went up into the
And
8 to 10 cents, and that was exciting. That was it's amazing when you accidentally own something like Dogecoin and it gets crazy. That was a lot of fun. It would be nice if we accidentally own SHIB and it goes crazy. I want to see some parabolic. It'd be crazy if the Shiba Inu moons before XRP.
could happen, Jeff. Anything is
could happen.
possible.
But the thing is with XRP, and we said this last time, I believe it was meant to be an asset that maintains stability, meaning that it can't have big, massive moves in short periods of time. I think it takes a long time
Just
to
one
move it,
period where it
although,
goes to $25, and then we'll take that, Jeff.
and then it'll sit there, and then it'll be in that $25 to $27 range, $28, back to 24, 23, then it'll go to
Could be.
27, and that'll be the next 5 years. Then it'll go to the next level.
Bring it to the next level, Jeff. Come
Yeah.
on, Jeff. Yeah, so
What's up, Jim?
Jim D pop in?
No,
Or your buddy
I
Jim?
just got a text. My buddy just sent me a text of a screenshot of you and I.
Good. What's up, Jim?
Oh,
Shout out.
I
Shout out.
just said, "What's up, Jim?"
I know Jim.
He's
We know
normally over
each other.
here
We
chatting
know
in
each other.
here,
Yeah. But I mean,
and
you
it,
know,
he's
what
he's over
you
here.
guys heading off to dinner somewhere? Were you guys getting
Gonna
some
go to dinner somewhere. I don't know.
somewhere
Somewhere
cool,
around
somewhere
here.
fun, somewhere
Gonna go
good?
someplace in this general vicinity and
Okay.
get some food.
Yeah. Sounds like a great
That's what
thing.
we're gonna do. Yeah. Can we discuss When Moon for like the next 45 minutes? I must know When Moon.
Well, Mark, we all want to know when moon, but listen, we just showed you that Bitcoin went up 7%, jumped from 25 to 27, and oh, miraculously, so did the rest of the market with it.
The whole
So
market moved.
it's like a puppet that dances, and Bitcoin gives everything else permission to say like, hey, things are going well. It's a weird thing. It's all
Right.
tied to Bitcoin at this point. At some point, it decouples, but I don't know when that
At
happens.
some point, maybe never.
Maybe never. Who knows? But
We don't know.
2024.
Does anybody know?
Well, what do we see everybody doing, right? They're buying gold like crazy. Silver's still
At Costco.
devaluated, right? At Costco. They're buying gold, but moreover, if you are in countries that have devalued currency, which is every country, some are worse than others, then guess what? You say like, well, listen, I got, $5,000. I have whatever the denomination is, I got 20 grand. Well, that 20 grand is going to buy less next month than it's going to buy the next. Why don't I pop some of that into Bitcoin?
That's
Okay,
right.
well, Bitcoin, I was, I made money, it went up. So to adjust for that inflation, and if you hold it long enough, and it was a savings, look, if it went to 67, it's going to 100. If it's going to 100, it's going to 400 or 500, right? Am I wrong?
It's going that way. That's right.
Right. So that's where we're at, Jeff. It's in a good
That's
place.
where it's at. And XRP is going to move with the market this time because it's not being
By
suppressed
the way,
or
does Jim own any
oppressed.
XRP, Jeff?
Jim does not own any XRP.
How about
All the
crypto?
years he had set up a digital asset, he does not own crypto, as far as
Does he
I'm
into
aware.
Bitcoin or no?
No, he's not a Bitcoin maxi,
Okay.
but he should. He should own some crypto. Everybody should
Well,
have a little crypto. Who was that guy said you have to own at least $1 worth of Bitcoin? That was years ago.
yeah. Well, if you own $1 of Bitcoin, then you would have crushed it, right?
Been sitting on like $1 million.
Well, as long as it's disposable stuff, you don't want to go crazy all in like some people have, but that's just how it is. But anyway, Jeff, that's it. Let's wrap it. Sean Thompson says it was a good show. We talked about a
It
lot
was
of
a good
stuff.
show, and no other country in the world is selling gold at Costco. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I'm losing my
And you
voice.
go,
I mean, that proper
you
party
are
like
losing your
damaged
voice.
me, Jeff. I never leave my house. I work remote. I go out once in a while for some supplies. I mean,
Hey,
and then I was around
so,
thousands, about 10,000s of people walking around the streets of New York with all kinds of viruses and craziness happening.
man, Sophie just summed up our whole outro thing. Great
Thanks,
show.
Sophie.
Smart people in the chat. Have a good evening.
That's it. Thank you, everybody,
That's it.
and good night.
And good night.
That's
Hey,
bye.
if I can buy 2 pizzas for 10,000 BTC, I'll be able to buy pizzas for life with 10,000 BTC. That's interesting. Imagine that. If you were sitting on 10,000 Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, well, I have this to say about that.
That's
So,
right.
that
Or
happens. You know what I mean?
solar panels.
And this is what we have basically played.
Thank you, and good night.
There it is.
Henry.
Well, he seemed, yeah, that's a whole other thing,
That's a
Jeff.
topic for Saturday morning.
It is a topic for Saturday morning, but there was an extremely funny meme that went around about that. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe we can put it up there. Let's see.
Henry and Bitcoin.
Yeah, I got it right here. No, not Bitcoin. Hang on a second. Let me plug it in here. Here it is.
We're losing people.
Yeah, I'm sure let me stop
Everyone's
this. Jeff, just when you thought we were done, we're not done, dude. Just don't
not done.
get excited. So I want to go to a tab.
Jim's
Yep.
going to come up here and he's going to take over the show for the next hour.
That'd be great.
We'll have Jim run it. Jim, come on up.
Why not?
You can
Here we
run the
go,
rest of the
like
show.
this. So now that McHenry is as the speaker pro tempore, he's really bringing the hammer down. So let's watch this, Jeff. Tell me if you have audio on this. I hope you do. Let's see.
Right.
Turn that audio up. Here we go.
Here we go.
Players in the house from recess,
You have it?
Yeah.
subject to the call of the chair.
Who's got a hammer? Where is it? Where's the hammer?
It's
Hammering out there. Go up on the other floor. Somebody go up there and stop the hammering. Stop
oh my God.
hammering.
Remember when Lawrence O'Donnell did that?
Call fucking Phil Griffin. I don't care who the fuck you have to call. Stop the hammering.
Oh my God. That's brilliant.
Empty
I'll
out
have
the
to go
goddamn
find it.
control room and find out where this is going on. It's either there or out there somewhere. Fucking out of control shit. Jesus Christ. It fucking sucks to be out here with this out of control shit.
Oh my God.
Fucking
That's
stupid
freaking
hammering.
amazing.
It just fucking sucks. Stop the hammering
Oh
out there.
my
Stop
God.
the hammering.
That was good, Jeff.
Uh,
That was good for the X. If you
yep.
stayed till the end, you guys enjoyed that. That was some funny
Yep.
stuff there.
all
Stop
right,
the hammer. And the
let's
funny
wrap
sound they
it
put
up.
on it. If it was just a hammer, it wouldn't be as funny. But putting that little that was funny. So there you go. I mean, we
right.
don't know. I don't know enough about his policies, but I know he's pro crypto, but he won't last. They want to put another rhino in there as soon as they can. I know that they're trying to get Tom Emmer in there. I think Tom Emmer would be a great speaker and would hold
Let's
the
review
agenda.
on Saturday.
He's
wrap
he's
this show.
he's the whip, so he really ought to ascend to speaker.
Yep.
So
Sweet. That's
all right,
all we
that's it,
got.
guys.
All we
Best
got.
and brightest. We love you guys. Thank you for hanging in there all the way to the end. One person
Check
who
you
watches
guys
the
out
show.
on the next one.
See you on
We're
the next
out.
one, guys. Cheers, Chip and Jeff.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.